Hey everyone, I'm back with another gameplay video for Domain Zoo. So if you saw my last video, I tested Vexing Devil in the flex slots. I was using 2 and then 1 Dramoka's command, and it actually performed pretty well. So I'm going to go ahead and up it to 3 Vexing Devil in the flex slots. And some of the reasons that I'm using this card is a few reasons. One, a common way to lose with this deck is to not see enough threats throughout the game. So you might have to mulligan a lot early, mulligan a lot because you have a hand with the correct lands, you have a hand with spells in it, but you don't have enough threats, and this deck can't really needs threats to function. So what Vexing Devil does is it gives you 3 more copies of a threat. Of course, sometimes it also will act as a burn spell, so it's kind of a situational card, but you could also think of it as maybe extra copies of Bolt or Tribal Flames because of the 4 damage to the opponent. So that was the initial reasons why I was testing it, and in the last league I played, it performed very well, actually. What I found is I could use it, the most common uses were sometimes I would use it on turn 1, and it would allow me to play a turn 1 threat into a turn 2 threat. So say I have a Kavu or Brawler in hand, I don't have any other 1-drops, but I did have a Vexing Devil, then that's what allowed me to apply more pressure than I otherwise would be able to do. The other time I could use it was something on like turn 3. As you can see, our deck is pretty heavy on 2-drops. Scion is really a 2-drop. But that means they can make for some awkward turn 3s because you might have like 2-drops in your hand. You can't double spell. Well, having another 1-drop like Vexing Devil just helps to smooth that out. Another thing I've found is it just has a lot of synergy with the other burn in the deck as well as Stubby D. So what can happen a lot is if you play Vexing Devil on turn 3 or later, the opponent will be forced to let it live because they're so worried about their life total getting low enough. Like they might not want to go down to like being dead to Tribal Flames, dead to Bolt, or something like that. So a lot of times they will let this live because they have to respect the fact that you might have more burn in your hand. And the other thing that can happen too is maybe they have a removal spell or something in hand. So they're saying, okay, I'm going to let this Vexing Devil live because I know I can just bolt it or Unholy Heat or something like that. And since it does turn on Stubby D, that can be like very useful. So sometimes they'll let Vexing Devil live, thinking that they can just use a removal spell on it, and then you can stub the removal spell, and then now you have 4/3 in play for 1 mana. So that's another kind of a situational one, but so far I've actually been very impressed by it. The other change is in the sideboard. So a lot of these cards are the same. I do have the 3 Dramoka's command still in the sideboard. I do think they're good cards in a lot of matchups. So you might see me in this league board out Vexing Devil in certain matchups to bring in the Dramoka's commands kind of as like the flex cards. I do still have the same Wear Tear, Rest in Peace, Veil of Summer. Okay, so you might notice that there's no Teferi in the sideboard. I used to play Teferi for, of course, Cascade matchups, but also for Murktide. And in this league, I'm going to try doing something a bit differently, where I'm no longer bringing in Teferi for Murktide. I found it to just be very medium a lot of times. You tap out, pay 3 mana, and a lot of times it would just end up being that I tick him down because my opponent already has Delirium, so I know he's going to die in Unholy Heat no matter what. So I take him down to draw a card. But it's like I spent my whole turn to basically draw a card, and then he just gets killed with a removal spell the next turn. So he hasn't been amazing. Of course, sometimes you can be like bounce a Murktide, bounce a Ledger Shredder, draw a card. That can be very strong play. But I just found that I played with it a lot against Murktide, and it just wasn't. It was just a lot of times not that amazing. So what I did, that was one reason. And then another reason is against Cascade decks, I had a lot of trouble sometimes casting Teferi because, especially on the draw, you don't, turn 3 Teferi doesn't really help you that much if you're against Living End, sometimes even against Rhinos. And then you have to tap out, which means you can't play a threat that turn. So what I did is I just added a 3rd Flusterstorm. So this should help in the Cascade matchups, but Flusterstorm with the 1 mana spell, of course, it can't be forced. And it also means that you can kind of continue to play threats throughout the game. So on like turn 3, for example, I could play a 2-drop threat and then hold up either Stubby D or Flusterstorm in those sorts of matchups. So I'm experimenting with that, with just having a 3rd Flusterstorm instead of the 2 Teferis. And then the rest of the sideboard looks just about the same. So there's no remands anymore. I do think remands are a great card. I just think like the meta, at least with MTGO I've seen, is it's a lot of low curve decks. And a lot of these card decks that Death Shadow is back, Murktide is big, Hammer Time's always big, like things like that where Reman's just not that useful. So if like Yawgmoth and Amulet Titan and Elementals like made a comeback, then I'd bring back Reman. But right now, I just don't feel like it's worthwhile. So I'm going to take us through a league. If you enjoy this sort of content, just go ahead, like, and subscribe. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I'll see you guys for round one. Okay, starting off with round one. Looks like I'll be on the play. Okay, this hand is good. We're going to keep. So this is another example of kind of what I was talking about. Normally, if I didn't have Devil here, I wouldn't be able to double spell Devil into Brawler. So I'd probably just go Triome turn one, and then turn two, get myself, play Scion, right? Which is fine. Like if I have a hand that's all it allows me to do, that's fine. But with this deck, we're trying to apply pressure early, so there's an advantage to having like a faster start like that. Where worst case, like most likely this thing dies, but I've already done 4 damage to my opponent. If they do any sort of fetching and shocking, they can realistically be down to 14 life, and I haven't even, by the time I'm on turn 2. So we're gonna start off the foothills here, and we're gonna grab Sacred Foundry. Play our Devil. Opponent's probably gonna be what the hell are we on? See if he lets it live. Maybe he has a removal spell in hand. Okay, so that's what I figured would happen, but now he's already at 16. So this burn, Prowess. Okay, looks like Prowess, or it could be burn actually still. So we're gonna still play our Brawler. It'll probably die to Bolt, but it happens. Okay, binding's interesting. I could try to preserve my life total here and just bind this Swift Spear, which I actually might do. I don't know if my opponent's on Prowess or Burn, but I might just fetch up a Triome here and then just bind their threat. I'm going to be a little more conservative against Burn with my life total. So I'm going to do less fetching and shocking if it is Burn. If it's not Burn, like if it's just jam into Eidolon or something, then I'm just going to bind that. Second Swift Spear. So still don't know if they're on Burn or Prowess. Could be either. See if he tries to play some spells. Yeah, it looks like it's just Prowess. Fine. See if he tries to flash it back to do more damage. Maybe he's got mutagenic growth or something. Nope. I think you could have argued I should have maybe just played a threat. I don't know. I'm going to play a little more conservative with my life total in this matchup. But we'll see. I know they do play Bolt usually. So I'll take 2 here. Would like a fetch land, so I don't have to shock this in. Okay. Here's kind of the awkwardness of, do I play a Brawler or a Scion? I probably just play Scion. They do have a Lava Dart in the graveyard, but it forced them to burn a land on it. Maybe I should play Tomb tapped here. Next turn I can fetch a basic. We'll see. I don't know. Maybe I think maybe I should have just played a creature and traded with one of the Swift Spheres instead of using up my binding. We'll see. Okay, that's annoying. So if he attacks me, let's see, flashes back, lava dart. Well, I guess if he bolts me, then I just get like blown out completely. I don't love letting this go through though. That was a very good draw for them. So like the worst case is he like does mutagenic growth. Then it's too big. I guess I'm not taking the damage then at least, so I think I have to block this and just force him to use his removal on the Scion. Like he can lava dart it, and then we'll see what he's got in hand. Yep, so he did have mutagenic growth the whole time. That's fine. Again, I'm not going to take any damage from this, so like I figured he had a pump spell in hand or something, but now I can double spell next turn and maybe hang on. Really need to get rid of that Soul Scar Mage. Okay, so WD is good. Question is, do I want to just play one? Can I get away with playing one brawler and holding up stub? It's a little dicey. Or should I just double spell brawler? I think I just want to double spell brawler. Oh, that's the wrong line. It's probably just going to bolt this one, which is fine. Again, these are Prowess triggers he's not using on my turn. So we'll see. This game's not looking great. Yeah, so now he'll probably find another bolt. I'll probably just trade with Soul Scar Mage if he gives me the opportunity to. If he doesn't just bolt my brawler here. And then I'm just in top deck mode basically. But my opponent also is. Unfortunately, he just cast Iteration, so exile a Lava Dart. So maybe he'll try to. I guess he can shrink my brawler enough with 2 Lava Darts. And that's what he's gonna do. So again, I'm kind of in this scenario where I just have to block this, even though I know exactly what he's gonna do. He's gonna shrink my lava. He's gonna double Lava Dart my Soul Scar Mage, or sorry, my brawler. Yep. But I'm kind of just in survival mode here. I mean, you could say I shouldn't trade creatures like this, like we are in a low life total, but at the same time, I'm just going to take so much damage by just letting him lava dart me. Like, I think he actually would have had lethal hit there, because he can still flash back a lava dart. So he would have had lethal there if I hadn't done that. So I need like a removal spell for a creature. I think I just have to Tribal Flames and hope I can hang on. Not a great strategy. Of course, I'm dead to like Breach or something. I'm dead to a lot of things. Oh, actually, I guess I do have. I could stub if he doesn't have another land. If he goes like Iteration again or something. Okay, I can't stub that, unfortunately. I think I just have to stub this. To not give him the card draw. Doesn't feel great, though. Yep, stubbing a Mishra's Bauble. So he does still have a Lava Dart in the graveyard, so he can... Let's see, he'll do 3 to me. I'm dead to... No, he'll do 4 to me. Yeah, it's not looking good. Maybe I should have played out my threats and just shocked more aggressively. I think there's an argument for that. This is a tough matchup for us, for Zoo. Okay, this is not going to do it. I can just concede. Okay, so sideboarding against Prowess. He could bring in Blood Moon. He is playing Iconoclast, it looks like. Tremoka's is going to be good, so I will put that in. Don't think I need Wear Tear. I do want Hidetsugu. You could argue for Flusterstorm, but he has so many cheap spells that I might just not do that. You can also argue for Rest in Peace. He could have DRC, he could have Underworld Breach, but usually I like to bring it in, although I did see like Soulscar, like I'm not sure that he's actually playing DRC or Breach, so I don't know that I want to bring it in without knowing for sure that he's got some kind of Delirium elements. I do want to trim a little on 1-drops. Ragavan, I'm just going to cut completely. He's too hard to use against Lava Dart. Brawler, I'm going to trim on 1 because of dying to Bolt. I think this is fine. Maybe I should bring in Flusterstorm to like counter some card draw stuff, but yeah, I mean, obviously Ragavan's a very good card, but I've played matchups before where I literally cannot ever cast him because he just gets killed by Lava Dart right away. So, I just don't think he's that useful, especially late game. He gets way worse if there's a Lava Dart in the graveyard. You just can never do anything with him. So that's why I'm cutting him there. Oh, I'm also just in general want to cut on 1-drops a bit when I'm bringing in Hidetsugu, so that's the reasoning. I don't want to like have a handful of 1-drops and then have to wipe my own board. Okay, we have no lands. We're going to mulligan that. We have no threats. A lot of great interaction. I think I have to mulligan to 5. I don't like doing it in the matchup this close. Okay, this is doable. So what's been Tribal Flames? I keep this. Bin. We could bin. The question is like, do I want to bolt whatever they play turn 1? He could have like mutagenic growth or something, or I could just try to save myself some life and play a Triumph turn 1. If you played something like Soulscar Mage, I really need to bolt it, but I also want more threats on the board. Like the plan clearly is to go ahead at Tsugu, so maybe I put bottom the bolt. No, I think I need to keep the bolt just in case. Yeah, we'll see. This way I can go turn 1 spell into turn 2 spell, although I will take some damage from doing it. Swift Spear. Of course, he could have mutagenic growth. I think I just take 1 here. See if he tries to like do growth or something like that. That way I'm not getting blown out if he has it. So you can argue about like, oh, you should, life total is important, and it is, but I get like completely blown out by mutagenic growth there. So now if I bolt him, he can use mutagenic growth by not taking 2 extra damage. Seems like he probably has it. Yep. So I would have taken 3 extra damage from that if I hadn't bolted him then. So obviously it's annoying he blanks my bolt, but what can you do? So I am taking a lot of damage from doing this, but it's kind of the name of the game with our mana base. Hope he doesn't have like Soul Scar Mage and then like Bolt or something. That'd be very bad for me. Just shrink my Kabu to 1/1. But I at least do have, I can do Hidetsugu next turn to wipe the board, so my hope is he just like double spells 1-drop threats. That would be the best for me. Nope. So play Iconoclast. Probably not going to attack here. See if I get something good. Okay, Trouble Flames. Could potentially just kill his Iconoclast now. Swing in for 5. And then... Doesn't seem great, though. He could try... Like, I don't know if I want to pump him. I don't want to wipe his board this turn because that's not that helpful. So I think I'm just going to swing in and exile Growth from his graveyard. See what he does here. This is just in case he's playing Breach. You have another Mutagen Growth. So he's not going to block at all. So if I put him at 10, and then Tribal Flames the Iconoclast, or I could just put him at 5. Like, the question is, do I want to do the Hidetsugu to kill 1 Swift Spear? That doesn't seem great. But the other problem is he could just potentially kill me next turn. So I think I want to fetch a tap land. Double red here. I want to do this, get in for 5, and then it doesn't feel great to Tribal Flames a Iconoclast, but I'm also worried like how much damage he could do with Bolt plus. I'd have to do the math. Let's see. Like, he would need, so every Bolt he has would be plus 4 damage. Every Lava Dart he has is 3 damage, so he could probably kill me next turn if I'm not careful. So I think I have to Tribal Flames this Iconoclast, but that doesn't feel great to do. But I think otherwise I'm at risk of just dying. You could argue that I also do the Swift Spear, but I don't know. He could have, like, I guess just all burn in hand and kill me here. But we'll see. Okay, DRC is fine. So I just need to be able to survive this turn. Okay, another Iconoclast is annoying. Doesn't have any 0 mana spells. We'll see if he does. See if he has another Growth or something. Yeah, he didn't have anything. That's good for me. Okay, I probably loot away this land. So we'll attack, loot away the land. Or do I think he's actually going to block with something? No, I think I guess I'm trying to think of like what I could use if I... Because the problem is... Maybe I attack and loot away the land, let him block with something. I guess I get blown out if he like double blocks. Maybe I get like a binding or something. It could be useful. Or like Tribal Flames if he lets it through. Scion. Okay. I just play... Again, I don't think there's a need to use the Hidetsugu right now. He's just trying to buy time, but... I guess you could argue I should have. No, I think that's a fine play I made. We'll see. These are always close games. Pretty sure he doesn't have anything, but I'll just block this Swift Spear. Probably got Bolt in hand or something. Maybe I could have let it through. It's just really risky with the sword deck. Yep. Again, it happens, but I'm not taking any damage. So, I don't know. I could have let it through. I just don't know what he's got in hand. Okay, another Scion. That's cool. I think we're just going to wipe his board now. Kind of annoying because it doesn't kill Iconoclast. But it is what it is. Exile in the growth in case he has something like Underworld Breach. Obviously, he could get some things back, but he's at 3. Let's see if he can kill me here. Okay, not the card I want to see. So with Scion, he can't chump, though, anymore. So it's not too bad. Like, if he attacks with Iconoclast here, he could just be dead. About to exile his whole graveyard, too. Which is always good. Okay, Soulscar Mage is not what I want to see. But hopefully his last card in hand is nothing useful. Okay. So, let's see if he's got a 0 mana spell in hand, like Mutagenic Growth, I guess. Then he could survive another turn. Okay. Now he can't survive anything. I don't think there's a reason to wait on doing this. I think I just do this now. Okay, that game went better. On to round 3. So he's running DRC, but I think with the Soulscar Mage package, in Iconoclast, I still think I don't want Rest in Peace. I think it's just too narrow. If he was running like Unholy Heat, then I would, and Underworld Breach, again, he could still have Breach, I just haven't seen it. But I think I'm okay with this list here. He, of course, now knows about Hidetsugu, so he can try to play around it, but, you know, his whole deck is, all his threats almost are 1-drops, so it's hard to play around. This hand's fine. 1 threat, but I do like this interaction. We're going to keep, see what we can do on the draw. DRC. Let me think of what I want to do here. Maybe I just I don't have Stomping Ground in the deck, so if I Bolt DRC this turn, like I could try to save a point of life by just playing Steam Vents, then next turn I still have to shock though. But I'm saving 1 point by not fetching. I don't know. I think I'm just gonna kill us now. I don't want him to start like flipping through his card, you know, surveilling and stuff like that. This way, even if he has to have double Mutagenic Growth to save it. So next turn we can go Nikotl. Maybe he does have double Mutagenic Growth. No, he doesn't. And we also have Binding if he goes Iconoclast. But I would probably like to apply some pressure. At least a threat on board. We'll see what he plays. I have to be a little more reactive on the draw in this matchup, especially because it's so close. Really? Is he just about to Blood Moon me? That'd be interesting. I could try to respect the threat of Blood Moon by just playing Nicodle as a 2/2. But next turn, I'm still going to have to. And I won't have a basic planes. Next turn, I would need a black and a white, which I have here with Triome. Wouldn't be able to double spell, though. I might actually do that. I do have Binding in hand, so you can, we'll just see. He could obviously Lava Dart and Flashback to kill Nicodle. Should be annoying, but it's Lava Dart that's not going to face. That's my only reasoning for what he would keep if a hand that he only had one fucking, he didn't have any 2 drops in. That's kind of weird. That's why I'm like, maybe he does have Blood Moon. Could be wrong. Like, could be playing overly conservative because his mana base doesn't look like he's going to be able to manage a Blood Moon. But maybe if he goes turn 3, fetch fetch basic island and then plays Blood Moon. That's my only guess for what he's trying to do right now. At least I have a forest in, so I can still play Kavu next turn. Can't play Binding though, but I kind of know a way to do it with how I've fetched. If he had played a spell on turn 2, then I might have just been like, all right, let's see if he just goes Blood Moon here. No, he's gonna go Iteration. Okay, that's fine. Again, like, he can Lava Dart the Nicodle, that's like the only difference. It's either he's still dead, Nicodle's still dead to Bolt and everything. And then next turn I can play Triome, play my Kavu 5/5, swing with Nicodle. I'm not sure what he's looking for, maybe a threat. Exiles Lightning Bolt, so he's just gonna Bolt Nicodle. I'm fine with that. He must have a really slow hand. Yeah. Okay, Bolt's good. The question is, like, see, I need white and black, which I can't get, but I can get 4 types, not have white. No, sorry, I can get 4 types, not have black. But I can't get double red that way. So to get double red and like hold up Bolt or Binding, but I could hold up Binding. And then next turn I get 5 types. I think I'm okay with that. I think I like that. I am shocking myself to do this, but I can go green, red. Oh, I can't hold. That was stupid. That was really dumb. I can't hold up Binding for 1 mana when I only have 4 types, so I should have just played the Triome. I just cost myself 2 life for no reason. That was really dumb. Hopefully my opponent doesn't realize it, that I don't have black. Oh man, that was stupid. Yeah, I should have just played Triome, played Kavu past. Kavu would be 5/5. And I would have be at 17 life right now. So now my Kavu's dead to Bolt plus. Okay, he's gonna keep iterating. So at some point he's gonna find a threat, but I have 2 pieces of removal in hand. I can start exiling bolts and stuff from his graveyard. I guess Kavu would be dead to Bolt plus Lava Dart anyway if he flashed back Lava Dart. So it's not that big a deal. 4 versus 5. I'm assuming he's digging for a threat, not removal. He must have just kept a hand that was like DRC and then all kind of like enabling spells. But I'm kind of confused why he didn't cast an iteration on turn 2. I don't know what he would have been holding up. He got his land. Iconoclast. White blue. I think that's Iconoclast. Okay, prismatic ending on 2. Okay. So he's really just got nothing. Okay, devil is fine. Don't think he lets this live. I could grab Gigantha here. But I think I'd rather... Like, he's got a really slow hand. I feel like I'd rather hold up Binding. Maybe that's not smart, though. I guess... No, I couldn't even play Gigantha next turn unless I drew another land. Yeah, I have big regrets out of how out of that playing the lands how I did. Because then I could have double red this turn. So I could have like played devil and held up bolt. But that's okay. I have 5 types now. Was gonna hardcast a fury. Then I'll just bind it. Okay, Soul Scar Mage. And bolt that. Swift Spear. Question is, do I bolt the Soul Scar or do I bind the Swift Spear? Or sorry, bolt the Swift Spear. I care. Soul Scar Mage is kind of a more annoying card for me. So I really want to make sure that's dead, but I feel like if he had something, he would have used it by now, a pump spell. So he had Spell Pierce. Okay. So I guess that's what he was holding up on turn 2. Oh, I guess I should have thought that through more. Can't pay the cost. Okay. I'll just still bolt this Soul Scar Mage next turn. So yeah, I guess I should have waited till post combat again. Need a threat. Okay, not a threat, but do you have another mutagenic growth? I feel like he would have used it last turn. Okay, I was wrong. Okay. I think I'm going to kill his Soul Scar Mage then. I'll do it in his upkeep. Just fetch a basic plains here. Grab Gigantha. And then we'll up. Actually, we're not going to upkeep because then he'll be able to pump it. Even more of a blowout. So it's still not a great place, but he's got 1 card in hand. Let's hope it's not like iteration or something. Yeah, I wish I would have been, man, I would have been at 14 if I hadn't fetched poorly. Would still be in very good shape. Of course, he's got another Soul Scar Mage. Pretty good top deck. Tetsugu would be good here. Creature would be good. Tribal Flames. Could just Tribal Flames his Soul Scar Mage, but I can't play Gigantha then. I think I just play Gigantha and try to hang on. Try to like burn him out next turn or something, like swing in and burn him out. Of course, if he's got like another burn spell, then potentially I'm gonna get blown out. But I guess you could argue to kill Soul Scar Mage first. Or protect Gigantha. I don't know. It's close. Like I'm screwed if he has like Bolt and then just makes this Gigantha a 2/2. That's like a really bad for me, and I'm assuming he's gonna attack with both. He should. Oh, okay, well now he's just showing he doesn't have anything in his hand, so I think that was a mistake. Yeah, Heath is pretty bad. So I could just swing for 5 and see if he lets it through. Maybe he tries to double block and has some kind of like stuff going on. Maybe he lets it through. There's no way he lets it through. I think I should have maybe Tribal Flames the Soul Scar Mage first. He's gotta have like Lava Dart or Bolt. I get blown out. Yeah, I'm assuming he's going to have a pump spell. But he would need 2 of them to actually kill the Giganta. Close games. Don't know that I played them super well. Oh my god, always has it. Okay, so I just kill a Soul Scar Mage now. Guess if he has another free spell like Lava Dart or something, then I get blown out by this, but don't have a choice. I could also put him at 1. Doesn't seem great. Okay. Now we're in top deck mode some more. Yeah, maybe I could have played that better and just... Of course he gets iteration. Good top deck. Oh, man. Yeah, maybe I should have just Tribal Flames the Soulscar Mage first to make sure that he couldn't do something like that. But it would have upped the... No. I guess the Storm count doesn't matter for Prowess. Okay. I find it hard to believe he bricked on that. Yeah, this is probably not living. Although it could. He's afraid of going in bolt range. I have to bluff it with Heath in hand. I don't think it lives. Okay, it does live, so he probably has a removal spell in hand, or he's just afraid to bolt. But he's got to have some answer, or else I would just kill him next turn. Please, no more iterations. Oh my god. He just keeps top deck. Well, he's got 1 more in the deck. Just keeps... Nope, that's the last one, actually. His 4th iteration in the top 23. I guess that's not unreasonable. But he just keeps top decking iterations, which is pretty handy to do when you're in a top deck mode. Okay, Iconoclast, so now he can chump with tokens. Assuming he has another spell in hand, which he got 3 cards, so I gotta imagine he does. Bolt, maybe. Bolt the Devil. Another Iconoclast. Prismatic Ending. Okay. Yeah. I mean, maybe he wasn't top decking iterations and had him in hand all the time, but with all the mana he had available, I'm pretty sure he just top decked like 3 iterations in a row. Okay. Give me a threat. Yeah, that's a threat. Fortunately, he can just keep chumping with it, but I can loot away this land next turn. Try to find some action. It's out of iterations. Pretty sure. 1, 2, 3, 4 in the graveyard. So I would need like a Scion, Binding. Scion would be good to be able to push through damage. Otherwise, he'll just be able to keep chumping with soldier tokens. Question is, like, if he attacks with the Iconoclast, do I even block, or do I just let him push through? Like, it's 2 damage. The risk with me blocking is that he has, like, Mutagenic Growth and Bolt, or Mutagenic Growth and Lava Dart, or, Bolt. And then it's, like, a bad trade for me. So I think I maybe just take it. Or maybe he just, like, has Breach here, and then he can just Breach Mutagenic Growth, but he can only do it twice. So that wouldn't be enough to kill me. I guess he could do it with Bolt. Yep. All right, well, this game's probably over. The old Underworld Breach top deck. So this is where you can argue, should I have Rest in Peace in this matchup? I usually do bring it in. But I don't know. Sometimes you just lose to Breach. Like, so now he doesn't have any, so he can go Mutagenic Growth, mostly Bolt. He can just flashback 3 bolts, I think, and then just kill me. I think that's the end of it. He'll make 1 million tokens. Fortunately, didn't have a stubby D in hand. Yeah, I'm not sure. I think this matchup is always comes down to like this. Like it's literally just top decking. We have a companion, which helps. Um, but my opponent, when you're in a top deck game and your opponent casts 4 iterations, then it's gonna be hard to win that. Um, so of course the nice and of course and like breach is like impossible to fucking beat in like this situation at the end of the game. Like he can just keep bolting me and then it's over. It was fun while it lasted. Wonder if they designed this card to be like that. Like, the fact that you can just keep replaying the same card over and over again. Like, I don't know. I wonder if they actually thought that. I guess they did, but like in scenarios like this where you can burn someone out for all the mana you have in the graveyard, or all the mana you have with one bolt in the graveyard, like you can do 10 damage to someone. Or sorry, you can do like 15 damage to someone. He could have done yeah, I think he could still do 3 more damage. Right? He has 1 land left and escape cost is equal to the mana cost, so he could have exiled. Yeah, so he could have done whatever it was, like 15 damage to me. So even with that punt, I think I still would have died because he could have cast oh, actually, well, I wouldn't have. Let's see. I would have been at 1 life if I hadn't made that mistake with the lands, but then he would have still just attacked me with these 2, and I would have died. So close game. I'd have to look back to see if I could play it differently. Like maybe I do want to just bring in Rest in Peace, but it's unfortunate. Or maybe I just play more aggressively and like usually in this prowess thing, I'm okay with like the 2-for-1s and stuff where they pump their creature twice and then kill my creature and I don't take the damage. But maybe in there, I just need to take more damage early on to keep my creatures alive to pressure their life total. I'm not sure. I mean, I really think that match could have gone either way. It just happens that he top decked better than I did. So, okay, round 2. I'm on the play. This hand's okay. I think we keep this. Hopefully we draw into some 2-drop threats, but I'll play Minocotl turn 1, and we'll go from there. We're going to start with Flooded Strain. That's because we have Overgrown Tomb in the deck. That's our only untapped black source, so we want to save these green fetches for when we need them. That's why we're going to go with Flooded Strand on turn 1. And we're going to get Breeding Pool here. That way, next turn, if we don't draw any action, I can either go Tribal Flames or I could just fetch a Triumph to get 5 types and hold up Stubby D. I have options. I probably won't go Tribal Flames for 4. I usually like to save that for 5 damage. So if I draw another land, then I'll just get Triome for Nikotl. It's this Artifact Affinity. W is not gonna be that great. Binding will be good. So here, we're just gonna swing in for 3. Grab a Savai Triome. Wait till blocks. And then we can hold up Stub and then hopefully sub like a 2-mana artifact or something. We'll see. Or a 1-mana artifact if he like plays Springleaf Drum here. Nah, smart enough to not do that. This is weird if he's just not going to play anything. Guess he's really going to lead on those Saga tokens. That's fine. I think I'm going to still hold up. Let me think for a second here. So we're going to swing in for 3. Maybe he's got a removal spell. Don't know what it could be. Dismember, I guess. I don't think he would play Dismember in this kind of deck. So we'd really like to have mountain and plains on the same. Sorry, island and plains on the same land, but we don't have that. So what we're gonna do instead is, I think we'll just fetch white. Have double white, better than double green. That's fine. We're gonna fetch white and then Tribal Flames him and then hold up SWD. I still think SWD is more useful at this point than binding. I don't think I need to use binding at instant speed, but I feel like he's got to have something in his hand that he's planning on casting, or else he's just going to lose to me beating him down. So we'll see. Should be pretty obvious I'm holding up some kind of permission. Let's see if he plays around it. Maybe he has Spell Pierce here, in which case I guess I can't stub it if it's Spell Pierce. That might be what he's holding up. That's okay, though. I can't instant speed Tribal Flames, so I'll at least get it out of his hand. Yeah. Okay. I never seen this card before in my life, so I don't know what my opponent's on. Okay, so is he going to Tribal Flames me? Is that what he was holding up this whole time? Tribal Flames my Nakatl. Can I stub my own spell now? I think I can. Weird. I guess I'm 2 for 1ing myself, so maybe that's stupid, but... Keeping my threat alive. What has he got now? Spell Pierce? Okay, him paying that doesn't make a difference, because it's my spell. So... Wait, what? Yeah. He paid 1, but it didn't make a difference, because I didn't counter his spell. Countered my own spell. I don't know if that was smart, but he's my only threat, so I want to keep my threat on the board. My opponent must have a slow hand. And he kept that because I guess he's just going to hope that like Saga tokens, he had like this random card. And he's got 2 cards in hand, still in a pretty good spot. I didn't know if there would be anything I could actually stub anyway. But now I have binding to take care of his Saga tokens. What a weird main deck card, huh? I guess I'll just swing in. Gonna make a Saga token, I'll bind it. Okay, where he's not, which is also fine. Gonna be at 11. We'll go green, white. Actually, we'll play a land first. I don't think I need Tribal Flames this turn, although I could. I don't think there's a need to right now. So we'll do white, green, brawler. We're gonna hold up binding. I'll see what he grabs. Maybe he goes all in on 1 Saga token. And then I can just bind it. Swing in for almost lethal. Well, actually 4 lethal if I can get Tribal Flames off too. So he's gonna make a token. I just want to see what I might end up binding, you know, what he grabs instead. I guess he could have another Commandeer, but I don't think that's likely. So we'll see if he gets like, I don't know what the 0 mana spell he'll get is though. If it's like Shadow Spear or something. I don't care about Shadow Spear. Okay. Does he have the mana to equip it though? Got 1 mana left. I think if I just bind one of his tokens, he's just gonna die. Can't be holding up Spell Pierce or anything. I guess he could have another Commandeer. No, he doesn't. He's only got 2 cards in hand. Fortunately, he's not dead yet. He blocks the Brawler. Oh yeah, he's still dead anyway. We want a red, probably a red and a blue source. Yeah, Devil's interesting. We just swing in with everything. Play the Devil, Tribal Flames. You should trade with the Nicotl. Actually, yeah, I guess the Brawler's fine too. Probably trade with the Brawler. It's better for him. I don't think he's got any counterspell. I guess he could have like Force. That'd be very annoying. I don't think so though. Okay, that's a weird deck. I have no idea what my opponent's trying to do. I thought it was some kind of artifact affinity, but he's playing Commandeer. He does have Urza Saga though, so and clearly like some artifact synergies. So I think I'm just gonna bring in the normal stuff I would for that, like Wear Tear and Dromoka's Command. I don't think I'm gonna do Hedetsugu yet because I don't know exactly what he's trying to do. Might be too narrow, but I think these are good. What to trim? Tribal Flame seems less good if he's got that stupid Commandeer card. Sometimes I'll trim a Ragavan in a matchup like this if he's got like Memnites or Ornithopters. Maybe 4-3 of these is a bit overkill for a deck that's probably not playing any removal. Trying to think what else I usually like to. Stub could be pretty bad here. Actually, I will trim on a stub. It's just that in these artifact decks, like a lot of times they're just playing a lot of creatures, so stub isn't necessarily amazing, and they're pretty low curve. I guess it's the question of like Vexing Devil or Ragavan. I guess Ragavan's still good, so he didn't really. I don't know. I don't know exactly what my opponents do, but I'll just trim on a Devil. Yeah, I forgot to update this. Yeah, we are 0-1 after that first round. This is a little awkward because I can't get 5 types, but I do have Binding, which is good against this deck, and I do have Nicotl, so I think I'm going to keep this and just hope to draw another fetch land or something, and maybe go turn 3 Scion. Let's see what my opponent does here. Plays a land. Aether Spellbomb. Okay. Okay, there's another land, so I probably just want to put a threat on board, though. Make him use the... Yeah. I'm going to make him use the Spellbomb on Nicotl. Like, if at the risk of me... If I just go Triumph turn 1 and then play Scion turn 2, obviously he's just going to bounce the Scion, and then I haven't really gotten anywhere, so I'm going to get some threats on the board. So I guess we'll go Temple Garden here. Next turn, I can fetch a Savai Triumph if I want to, and play Nicotl, and then turn 3 play Scion. Or I can go Binding depending on what he plays. If he just tries to like bounce Nicotl. Okay. He's just gonna draw a card, not even bounce, so I don't know what kind of hand he kept. Okay, alright. Like to see no pressure. Maybe he's got that stupid card in his hand again. Shadow Spear, so we will be binding that. Okay, that's not exactly what I want to see. So can't really double spell this turn unless I play another forest or another green land. I do want a red. Is it more important to bind this Shadow Spear? Or get another threat on board? Might be more important to bind the Shadow Spear. I guess it could start gaining life. And I'm going to swing in and see what he does. I guess I could also just wait on... I guess I'll feel bad if he plays something with haste, but that seems unlikely. So I think what I do is we go green, white. Oh, I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot. Yeah, whatever. I forgot I played green, white, so I can't get 5 colors like this. So I should have just... that's fine. We'll get Semi Triumph. Doesn't make that much difference, actually, but now I have to play Nikado. I can't cast a Binding. I should have just played one of my shock lands. That's kind of silly. Okay, now we got a decent board state, and we'll see what my opponent tries to do here. I've got 2 Bindings in hand. I can double spell them next turn if I play Sacred Foundry. Okay, he plays the Saga. Unless he's got like a board sweeper here. I guess that would be bad. Boom. Oh, he's like a land destruction deck? Okay. I guess that's what he was trying to do this whole time. It's like boom bust. Not that familiar with this archetype. Okay, well, that's going to be annoying. Ragman's good. So I guess we'll just get 3 types. Dash Ragavan. See if we get flip something good off him. This will also help against the land destruction. That's 6. Days Undoing. What he's trying to do here? Okay. It's turn 3. I think I already played a land this turn, so I guess we'll just pass here. So I've got these bindings. Fortunately, I don't have a black source, so they each cost 2, but I could still double spell them next turn if he doesn't kill another one of my lands. Usually these land destruction matchups are very bad, I will say, but I think so far I've been able to apply enough pressure that I'm hanging on. But it's obvious, like with Domain Mana Base, that any like Death and Taxes is a very terrible matchup. It's just very hard to deal with when they just keep frying your shock lands and triomes. I was fortunate that I had like multiple shock lands in hand. Okay, so their game plan is just to do nothing. Assuming they're gonna make a Saga token, try to gain life. Okay. This instant speed, not sorcery speed. So how do I ensure that I win this? Let's see, I can get Overgrown Tomb here. So each Scion... Sorry, let me think for a second. So each binding will cost 1 mana. I guess the risk is... So he's dead no matter what if I double binding. So I think that's what I'm supposed to do. We'll make a token, put a Shadow Spear on it. I guess if he has a removal spell or something, then could be wrong. But I think this is the right play to do. Not dash Ragavan. We'll see. He's just gonna die. Okay. Must have a removal spell, I guess. Yeah, alright. Or he just dies. Not sure if he like meant to miss the step where he's supposed to make a token or whatever. Okay. Well, we're at 1-1. Hopefully we can continue the winning trend here. Close loss to Prowess, pretty comfortable win over whatever that was. Some kind of boom bust, land destruction. Okay, back for round 3. Stands a little too clunky. Swamp Forest Island. Swamp Forest, only 3 types, so I'm going to mulligan this. We really want at least 4 types by turn 2. Sand has no lands, so as tempting as it is to keep, we're just going to mulligan this. This hand also has no lands. Okay, this is fine. Got the monkey to hopefully bring us to victory. And this is awkward. I guess we get rid of a binding and a forest, and get rid of forest. Like, the question is, do I try to turn one Ragavan, or do I just hope to draw into action? I think we're gonna just try to do this. Doesn't feel great. I'd much rather be able to play Ragavan turn one, but I'm on the draw. So maybe we just salvage it and we just draw. Okay, all right. Is this the mirror? Is this the mirror? I don't know. I don't know who else is playing Zaggoth Triumph, but we'll see. Yeah, another Ragavan isn't that useful. I think we just go Triumph. This is like Rhinos or something. I don't think they were playing Triumphs, but I guess they could with binding. Yeah, it looks like probably Rhinos. Probably just ice this land. Okay. It's counterspell. Could you have counterspell up? I could dash monkey and then play Nakatl. If I guess he could counterspell. Or he could have dead. No, he can't have dead. I don't like dash monkey play. Or I could just double spell. Actually, I like double spelling even better. I don't know what my opponent's on, but if they're holding up a counter spell, then they can use it. Could just be Rhino. I mean, it feels like it's probably just Rhinos, and I'll probably just lose. And it's like, I have no way to stop it. Yeah, I don't know what the hell they're on. I guess could still be Rhinos, and I just get blown out, but whatever. I have 2 more threats in hand, so I think we just go for it. Dress down. Okay. I guess he's just control. So I guess I don't want to play any more threats because he's just going to kill them. So I guess we'll just go plains, grab Gigantha. To play around Supreme Verdict. Might just be blue-white control. We'll see. I feel like it's just blue-white control. I've already done nothing. I'm assuming he's going to try Supreme Verdict here. I'll tap out for that, and I can dash Monkey and play Brawler. Okay, Jace. All right. Tap out for Jace. Fine with that. Maybe he's looking for a Solitude or something. Guess he has the Solitude, or else he wouldn't play a Jace without any protection. Right now, Jace would die to Nakatl. So I'm assuming he's looking for a Solitude. Might just ignore Jace. It seems like at my own peril, though. Really like a Binding or a Bolt. Neither of them. I guess I force him to use the Solitude here by attacking Nakatl at Jace. Sure. Solitude. Solid dude. Oh, what? I never saw this coming. Still gonna eat a Ragavan hit. I get something good. Maybe I get a Binding off his deck. Nope. Could just jam Gigantha here. I feel like I just get Supreme Verdict then. We'll see. Hard to say. He's got the Jason play. I'm probably just losing this game now. He untapped with Jace. But, you know, in a mold of 4, there's not a whole lot you can do. He's just going to keep brainstorming. Unfortunately, I wanted a quick match, and this does not seem like it's going to be quick. Yeah, it would have been nice to have Bolt or Binding or Tribal Flames, anything to kill Jace, but instead we got this. Okay, probably got another Solitude in hand. I don't know, Binding. Gonna just keep protecting Jace. Probably just gonna ignore him, honestly. If he uses up his Binding here. Another Dress Down. Really slow rolling this one. Okay. He's probably just got Supreme Verdict waiting for me to play more threats. Nope, another Solitude. I guess that's what happens when you just brainstorm Jace the whole time. Okay, now he can kill my Neshoba Brawler. Annoying. Again, I don't think I'm winning this game. We'll play Gigantha anyway. The second red source. Probably just has Counterspell up, so don't know why I'm doing this. Steam Vents? Sure. Counterspell, here we come. There's no way he was brainstorming Jace without getting a Counterspell. Yep. Yeah, believe it or not, winning against control on a mold of 4 is like a little tough. When I'm on the draw, especially. Even though my opponent did nothing for the first 2 turns, I didn't do much either. Yep. So I need like a Bolt or something for the Jace, but now he'll just be able to protect it for the whole game. So again, that I kind of had to deal with in that turn, and unfortunately he had Solitude, and then he had double Dress Down, so it is what it is. Okay, Chalice on 1. Guy's not winning the game quickly. Probably just concede if I don't get anything useful here. Because yep. Alright, I guess I'll just try to play through it, but probably not a game I win. Should just block here. Getting mana flooded. Alright, we'll take like one more draw step, and then I'm just going to concede because I don't want to play all day against a blue-white control player. I mean, I'm surprised they risked that. Like, unless they're playing Force, they like played a Jace with basically no protection on turn 4 when I had 2 threats on board. So it was kind of a big gamble because I could have just binded it or bolted it or Tribal Flames it. So I have 12 answers in this deck for it. And I would have then swung in for a bunch. Like, he did have the Solitude, I guess. So that's what he was, you know, using to protect it. But still think that's like pretty high risk play. Like playing a Jace with very little protection, no counterspell up or anything. And name a dragon. Okay, so maybe he's got some other stupid shit in his deck. Fairy, not a dragon. Guess he just names whatever he wants. In the deck. Sure, breeding pool, sure. Okay, looking forward to the counter spell here. Okay, so I guess he's got, he'll just bounce it with Jace. Game plan here. Or Solitude, or Binding, or a million other things. What a fun matchup to play. At least I forced him, so he must be pretty desperate there, actually, if he didn't even brainstorm. Is he not? I wonder if he's not playing Binding in his deck. I think he would with a Triumph. I just want to see what else he's got going here. Oh, so he's playing Murktide. Okay. So it's like blue-white control with, I guess, Murktide as his win condition. Binding would be great. Yeah, that's also good, though. Save green, red. So he has counterspell. Can only bounce one of these, assuming he'll bounce the Scion. Binding would be great. Maybe I'll just try to wipe the board with Supreme Verdict or something after he swings in for 4. Okay, yep. I mean, at least he's not able to brainstorm here. I'm actually surprised how much I'm able to hang in this game. I'm sure he's got, I mean, he's got 5 cards in hand, so kind of surprised he just hasn't used a counterspell on Scion yet. I guess I'll swing in, loot away Ragavan. Okay, binding's good. I could just try to bind. Who do I want to bind now? Jace, I guess. Do I care about Jace or do I bind the Murktide? Okay, just we'll see what he does here. Or do I bind the Teferi? I guess he can just bounce and get a new Jace at 3 mana, so that's not great, but I guess I'll bind the Murktide then. Or I could bind the Teferi. Or I could bind the Chalice. I don't know. I want to get rid of Jace, but yeah, he's gonna have a counterspell. Okay. Whatever will I do? Alright, so we'll just jam this again. Just do this some more. See if he's got another counterspell, probably. That's interesting. He must have been just holding up Dovin's Veto forever. And I just never, I don't know where all his counterspells are. Or he's really just like slow playing it. I will trade with this Murktide if he lets me, but he's going to probably bounce it. Okay, he really wants his Teferi alive. Okay, he's going to brainstorm. So he's trying to find, I'm assuming, a binding, if he's playing binding. I think I'll just let this Murktide through, actually. Although he could swing with Murktide and then just go Supreme Verdict, which would be bad. But I'm actually surprised I'm still in this game. I'm not sure what my opponent's doing. Okay, we're gonna loot away this Nikotl. Yep, what Supreme Verdict? Binding for 2. Prismatic Ending. Okay. Could attack Jace. But he's got Teferi. Should just let this through. Oh, I guess he's going to offer the trade. I guess that's... I don't know, maybe I shouldn't attack there. I think this is fine. I still don't think I'm winning this game, but figured I'll at least like play through it. Although I'm kind of giving it away that I have nothing to do. I guess I yes Teferi, so he knows I have nothing to do. Yeah, I'm just gonna concede. I could have just made him play it out, but you know I got stuff to do, so I'm not playing 3 games that are each gonna take 20 minutes. Okay, so against blue-white control, we are going to bring in our Veil of Summers. Could bring in Flusterstorm. I don't usually do that. I don't have Teferi, unfortunately. What is not so good against them? I guess the question is, do I want Flusterstorm or not? He was playing Dovin's Veto, so potentially not great. What do I want to cut, though? I don't want everything. Trouble Flame's a little hard to get off against a deck with so many counters. Maybe trim 1 Devil. I think this is fine. I don't think I want Dramokas. I don't think I want Rest in Peace. Like, he has Murktide, I don't care. He played a 4/4 Murktide. So, see what he sideboards in. We almost made the comeback there, unfortunately. You know, he had the counter, which is obviously he had to like brainstorm 3 times, so we lost our window to kill Jace. Okay, back on the play. Oh man, what the fuck? I think this hand's fine. Can't get 5 types right now, but we'll make it work. Go. Okay, Steam Vents. I guess if I go Overgrown Tomb and then this is awkward because I can't hold up. Then I'll go Sacred Foundry, Overgrown Tomb, but then I can't hold up Stubby D. Or I can go, if I get red, blue, black, green, then I can't, I only have a 2/2 Nicodle. We'll just play Nicodle. WD would be good on turn 3 to stop it to Fairy. That's okay though. We should. Let's see what I draw here. Oh man, I guess we just go red white and hopefully we just draw another land for stub because I want to keep playing threats. At some point he'll have a binding or a solitude or something. Prismatic Ending probably. Probably Prismatic Ending the Brawler. But if I can get a fetch land, I can get a blue source and have some protection here. Binding for 2. Chalice on 1. Okay. Not going to do what you think it's going to do. It's not exactly what I wanted, but I will swing in for 7. Probably got Solitude. No Solitude. 9. Fortunately, still don't have blue mana. Chalice on 1 means I can't cast any 1-drops, but he's at 9 life right now, so I don't know what his game plan is next turn. I guess he's got like Solitude plus Teferi, or like multiple bindings and prismatic endings. Okay. I guess that's an annoying one. Forgot. I think this is the first time I've ever seen that card. I mean, I've seen the card before, but if I just binding that, then I guess the point is now, then all my, I don't know if Chalice sees all the other stuff. Okay. Well, I'm just going to dash Ragavan then. Could have another Solitude. That's 7. Do I play the Vexing Devil here, put him really low in life, or do I hold up Stubby D? Go for it. Kind of weird that he did that on his own Chalice. Guess he was pretty desperate. Maybe he's got Teferi to bounce this again. What are these cards, man? Okay. Cool. Can't really do much here. Could just dash Ragman into soldier tokens so he can't trade with me. Really need that 5th land type to be able to play Scion. Having big regrets about that. The only guy who's ever played this card in the sideboard. I mean, I don't know, maybe there are people playing this, but I've never seen this card. And I've also remember when the set got spoiled. So now would be great if I had blue mana, but you know, kind of getting punished for not for keeping that hand. Okay. You can bounce this and I'll play it again. Still doesn't have mana up for any counters. Good to him. Obviously doesn't want to get hit by monkey. Yeah, there's a land. So let's go with Steam Vents. Play Scion. Oh yeah, I guess Steam Vents doesn't make a difference with. I guess I just play everything here. Get blown out by Supreme Verdict. I don't know if I have a choice though. Fortunately, Stub's not turned on because it's Teferi, but I mean, I guess I'm just playing the Supreme Verdict. I guess I could hold Ragavan in hand. Doesn't make much sense to play him. He's got first strike though with Scion. Maybe I should have. Maybe I should have dashed Ragavan with Scion in play. That probably would have been smarter. I would have forced the trade with his tokens. Now I get dunked on by Supreme Verdict. But well, I don't know. It's probably over. That was stupid. Forgot Teferi turns off Stubby D, so Okay. I guess he just blows me out with, I don't know what, binding on Scion, I guess. Attack him with everything. Now he binds Scion. Solitude Scion. Yep. So my Ragavan dies. I'll just play another one. I guess I could just not play it. I'm just gonna play it anyway. Grab Giganta. Draw another land. I can play Giganta. So he's hanging on with his sideboard answers. Fortunately, I haven't seen a binding yet. Well, I guess I saw one binding last game. That's kind of the answer to this card. I guess it doesn't matter that much at this point, though. But I don't know. They'll actually win this. I think usually the control matchup is fine if you can be aggressive enough. But like him having, oh my god, are you serious? Him having a 3-mana board wipe does actually make a difference when I was just only playing around a 4-mana one. All right, we're just gonna kill Teferi. You can argue that Teferi doesn't matter right now, but I think he does. Just have force. No. Okay, SWD's turned on, but or sorry, SWD is at least I can play it. He probably just has another Teferi though. So he's played. Assuming he got timely reinforced, so he's seen 3 of his sideboard cards in the top 18, which is pretty handy. I have seen 0. I guess I didn't bring in much for this matchup though. Chalice on 1. I guess I just stubbed this to make him tap. Now he can't. I guess he couldn't hold up Counterspell anyway. I guess he has one more land probably. He really is committed to the Chalice on 1, thinking that's like the everything against my deck. Okay. And these are not quick games. I guess I'm running out of clock too. My computer's been really like slow, so I like to like play faster, but it's just literally like my computer's so laggy that I can't actually play quick. Probably got binding or something. Another solitude. Okay. This guy's just playing all the cards. What a oh my god. Oh, I just skipped my main phase too. I just clicked through my second main phase. All right, I probably just lost. I mean, I think I was losing anyway. Like just playing all the Pioneer cards basically, and I'm just getting dunked on by it. I guess he's got the Modern Horizon staples. Yep. So I guess he could have bounced my thing anyway, but it would have killed his Teferi to do it. So maybe it worked out fine. Still doesn't have a counter spell up though. And we'll see. I really would like a binding, but I guess that's too much to ask for. Yeah, temporary lockdown, quite a card against us. Especially when you get 2 of them in the first like 4 turns. guess I should just yield through these turns because I don't got Teferi in play. My clock is getting low. WD, card I can't use. Solitude. Dress down. Okay, I'm probably just gonna keep. Okay, back for round 4. We're sitting at 1 and 2, so hopefully we can improve on that record here. Looking at this 7, this is definitely gonna make keep. We're gonna lead off with our turn 1 Ragavan here. Depending on what my opponent is on. But almost certainly it'll be a Ragavan. Breeding pool is interesting. Okay, suspends Footfalls. Okay, this is not a great hand against Footfalls. So we're just going to play Ragavan. It's, of course, almost certainly going to die to fire, but still going to run him out. Or I die to Fury. So he's probably going to, let's see, just fire, most likely. Dead. Okay. I have another Ragavan. I could dash it. Doesn't really accomplish all that much, though. Could just play a Brawler, but he's going to get Rhinos down. Like, I guess I could dash Ragavan. I'm trying to think what I could scoop off the top that would be useful. Like, I could dash Ragavan, play Vexing Devil, but is that better than just having a Brawler in play? Probably not, so I guess I'll just... I could also try to bluff that I have some kind of counterspell up. I think I'll just play Brawler here. This game, we're probably going to lose this game just because of, like, being on the play... being on the draw against Rhinos. It's tough when I don't have any permission. It's tough no matter what, but this hand is, like, too fair a hand for that. Well, we'll give it a shot. Might be able to play through it. Doesn't look like he's playing Blood Moon with how he's fetched, unless he's about to just fetch a basic and kill me. But maybe he doesn't have it. That's all we can pretty much hope for. He doesn't have a third land. I'm in pretty good shape. We'll probably just ice my Brawler. Okay, looks like he doesn't have the third land, so that's good for us. Okay, now we get a Scion. I think I'm tempted to dash Ragavan here. And force him to either ice Ragavan or ice the Brawler. But I kind of want to play Scion too. I feel like Scion's good in this matchup. Maybe we just double spell. We'll just swing first. He's probably going to ice me. Okay, he's not icing me. I'm a little surprised. Okay, he's going to petty theft me. Okay, so now he's really grasping at straws. So I think we'll just play Scion because I think Scion's going to be better than Brawler. Could play Ragavan here. I think I'm just going to play Devil, though. First strike against Rhinos is actually very relevant, so I imagine he's not going to let that live. Okay, we just got to keep praying that he doesn't have another land. Don't think it's going to go well, but we'll see. Life total is under pressure. Might be able to play through this. Okay. Doesn't have the other land, I don't think. He's doing that. Okay. I could try to dash Ragavan here. He's almost certainly got... He could have another Dead Gone or Fire Ice, but I feel like if he had Fire Ice, he would have used it last turn. He could have another Dead Gone. I don't know that dashing is as good as just like double Vexing Devil, but I mean, sorry, not double Vexing Devil. I'm gonna try dashing him. We'll see. Maybe he's got another fire. Yeah. That's fine. I think we just play Brawler here. He's gonna get Rhinos in play. So I guess it's not ideal. So maybe dashing was stupid there. I should have just gone wider. My life total does matter here, but I also kind of want double red. I guess my life total is more important though. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I should have just gone like I have 4 mana, so I could have gotten a second red and then just gone really wide with like Ragavan, Vexing Devil, and Brawler. And that might have been a smarter play instead of dashing. Like the dashing obviously had the fire ice, so but it was to be expected. All right, well, he's gonna get Rhinos no matter what here. Fortunately, I didn't get like a draw stubby D or anything. I can trade with one of his tokens. If I get a binding, then I can potentially be in okay shape. Still doesn't have a third land. Suspends another footfalls. Yeah, that's not a third land. I could just attack and split and then kill a second Rhino and then play a devil. That's probably what I'm gonna do here. And like just try to hang on in some way. Not looking good. Okay. So he's smart here. He's gonna take 1. Imagine this isn't gonna live. And now we're just gonna grab Giganta. So at some point he's gonna get a third land and a Cascade spell. You got the third land, but it's a tap land. Okay, things are looking pretty grim. Maybe a binding could save me. I don't know. Scion trades. Is it better than Giganta though? Than tapping out for Giganta. I guess he can't get the borrower back. Assuming he'll just have another Cascade spell next turn. So I have to hope to, let's see, take the 4, go to 1. I'm dead to fire. Or I can play Giganta. Maybe I just have to hope that he doesn't have, maybe I just go to 1 and hope that he doesn't have another Fire Ice. And then try to swing in with Scion and bolt him to kill him. I don't know that that's a great plan, but the other option is to go with Giganta, and then I die to. He doesn't have another Brazen Borrow, so I guess I can't really die that turn. He could go like Outburst. I guess I just jammed Giganta here. He already used 1 Brazen Borrow. I don't know how many he's running. I think this makes sense to do. See if I can hold on here with my giant elk. Doesn't die to Fury either, so we'll see. Tribal Flames off the top would be great. He might have force in hand. So I'm assuming he's going to do, let's see, probably going to Violent Outburst. So obviously I have to block. Take the trade. He'll get 2 Rhinos. Yep. So we'll trade here. I'm technically not dead next turn if he doesn't have Fire Ice. Because I could trade, I could play Scion, block 1, and the tokens go to 1. Tribal Flames will probably win it. Well, Tribal Flames wins it if he doesn't have Force, but Force. Gotta have it. Always has it. Never doesn't have it. Pretty handy, huh? Okay, well, we're not quite dead yet. He's in top deck mode. I can block one of these with a Scion to go to 1, and then hope to top deck something else. It's handy to always have Force. Okay, he drew a land. Good for me. I guess he can chump with Brazen Bar, so I guess I'll just play Brazen Bar this turn. Obviously, I have to block one of these. I'll go to 1. Need another Tribal Flames or something off the top. Gotta just bolt him now. I don't know if that makes a difference. Need a bolt. Need a Tribal Flames. Need a Ragavan. Not a land won't do it. Okay, close game. Luckily, this matchup gets better post board. It doesn't look like he's run with like these weird lands like Raging Ravine. I don't think he's running Blood Moon, which is good for me. Also, I don't think he's running Binding, so I'm not. Maybe he's just running like the old school list. So we have our Flusterstorms. We do have Hidetsugu. Dromoka's Command could be good. What's like not so good here? Thing is like most of this is good. I guess we need to trim on 1-drops because of Hidetsugu. So I do kind of like the Devils in this matchup, I'll be honest. But is that better than Ragavan? Maybe. Maybe not. Kind of crazy. We need to trim one more. I'm gonna trim on 1 Tribal Flames. Tribal Flames is good, but it actually no. We're gonna trim on a Bolt instead. Tribal Flames can still kill a Rhino in a pinch. Bolt is just they don't really have any creatures I need to bolt. Of course, like bolting face is always good, but I think you could debate whether to cut a Tribal Flames or a Bolt. But sometimes you're in like a real pinch and you just need like kill a Rhino. It's not the greatest trade, obviously, but sometimes it's fine. They do have Force also, which makes these burn spells, the sorcery speed burn spells, harder to get off, but I don't know. Yeah, it's a 1-lander, so can't keep that. Yeah, it's a 1-lander, so can't keep that. Fortunately, we're seeing like answers to Rhinos, but on 1 land, so let's hope I can get something decent. Okay, gotta go to 4. Okay, I mean, I don't know. We keep this. I don't really see how we win with this hand. I guess we just keep binding and Kavu. Put back Dagoth, I guess. Binding, Bolt. Okay. Well, unfortunately, we might just be losing this, and my opponent's Gemstone Cavern, so I think we're kind of just losing this one to variance. We'll try to play through it, but again, you know, it happens. Would have won last game if my opponent didn't have Force, but they had it, so maybe we can play through it here. But now they're going to get a turn 2 Rhino, so I'm probably not able to beat that with this hand. another threat, which is good, but again, not an answer. Don't have a way to stop Rhinos, so yep, the old turn 2 Rhinos. I can bind one of them, swing in with Kavu. Probably just block with Charlotte's Agent, though, or just not block at all. I'm not in great shape. Second binding is fine. The question is, do I loot away anything, or do I just play a swing in, play binding? I don't know. See how he does this. Maybe he'll triple block. I guess that would be smart, but then I'll just maybe bind one. I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna loot away these cards. I guess you could argue I should loot away the Brawler or the second binding for like Flusterstorm or something to at least stop the next set of Rhinos. Maybe that's probably actually correct. So I could take a lot of damage from this, or I could play a Brawler. Because like if he goes Violent Outburst, then I'm going to take 10, 13, go to 4. Do I have any shot of killing him next turn? I guess if I like top deck Tribal Flames or something. No, because he'll have the Rhinos back. Hmm. I don't know, maybe I wasn't supposed to attack there. I can't double spell binding. I guess I'll just try to bluff that I have sorry, some spell up. I'm not gonna do that now, though. It doesn't make any sense. I guess he didn't have the outburst, so I should have binded there. I was waiting. I thought he was gonna cast it, so that was stupid. I would have saved myself 4 life, obviously. For some reason, I thought he was going to cast Outburst, and in response, I could bind. But, so yeah, that was actually a major punt. Forgot how, like, the yielding priority works. So you could have another Outburst. I think we just swing into it. I don't know that Bolt helps me that much. I guess it does. Maybe I want to try to find... trying to think like what I could find that'd be useful. I think binding is fine for a Rhino. I guess I kind of want to play Brawler this turn. So maybe I'll discard Bolt. Just trying to race here. Okay, land's not that helpful. Actually, it is kind of helpful, because now I can do binding and Brawler. Go to 6. Yeah, I that was so stupid. I would be at 10 life right now if I had played that correctly. So I'd be in much better shape here. Because now I have like lethal on board, so he can't just swing with everything. I mean, I guess he could. They're really slow rolling this Violent Outburst the whole time. Why? I guess is that lethal then? I guess it's lethal, that's why he did that. Yep. So if I had not punted there, I would be at 10 life, and he would be swinging in for, let me see how much damage. Oh, he's waiting for me to tap out of blue. Okay. So you can argue that I should have just kept bluffing it. He probably was still gone for it, though. I mean, I think even with Yeah, even if I had been at 10 right now, he's probably a Breeze and Bar or two, of course. Yeah, all right. Well, got blown out this game on a mold of 4. Unfortunately, that's just kind of the way it goes. You can't really keep hands with 1 land in this deck, and my opponent had Gemstone Caverns, so probably could have played through turn 3 Rhinos, couldn't play through turn 4 Rhinos. Or sorry, turn 2 Rhinos. But I did punt there, so like you gotta think I would have. He'd have I'd be at 10 life, but he'd still have exactly 10 damage. So, well, this league's not going very well. Obviously, this matchup's much harder when you don't see any of your counter magic, which is what happened. I had you have with I did take out Teferi in this league, so you can argue like, oh, I have 1 less card to interact with them, but I still have 7 pieces of counter magic between Flusterstorm and Stubby D. But we're doing pretty terribly this league, unfortunately. So you can say maybe I shouldn't have done that, but I don't know. I don't think me playing stuff differently makes much of a difference in that Rhinos match. The first match was very close. Basically came down to him having force. And then the second match came down to me mulling to 4 and him having Gemstone Caverns on turn 1. So I guess you can argue. I guess I could play differently. Like I could have just kept Kavu back and been like, okay, I'll use Kavu to block a Rhino. But at that point, my only hope was basically to draw into more burn or more action or have my opponent brick so that because I had to apply pressure on his life total. There's no way I was going to win a long game against him by just like sitting back with a Kavu. And he had ice in hand anyway, so he would have just tapped my Kavu when he was swinging in for lethal. So I think I played that right. This hand is fine. We will keep this. So we're gonna go Flooded Strand on turn 1 to give us the option. Well, let's see what my opponent plays. Looks like Scam. They're just gonna destroy my hand right now. Looks like it. Thoughtseize. Okay. Imagine they'll take the bolt if they're actually Scam. Or maybe they'll take Scion because they have a very hard time killing. Well, I guess they have Terminate. It could be Jund. It could be something else. Take Kavu. Interesting. I guess now they're gonna like dash or Agavan or something. They know what I have in hand, so I'm just gonna play my Flooded Strand. This gives me the option to use Bolt if I have to. Of course, I don't want to, but my guess is like dash Ragavan here. That's the only reason you would take Kavu, so I can't double spell. Unless he is just like Jund, and then he doesn't want Kavu to be able to shrink the graveyard. But I have a hard time believing he's Jund because Jund has a very hard time dealing with Scion because Scion doesn't die to Fatal Push, so he's already at 14 life, which I'm happy about. Oh, he could just be Death Shadow, I guess. I don't know why I didn't think of that. But now I'm confused, so we'll see. Maybe it's just Shadow. Or is he? Oh, he's probably Creativity. Yeah, he must just be Creativity with the like Re-Animator package. Or again, he still could be Jund, but if you're Jund, I don't know why you take Kavu and not Scion. We're gonna get a Triumph here. So we've got our Sabai Triumph. We'll have 5 types for Scion next turn. Okay, Brawler's fine, but dies to Bolt, so I'm still gonna play Scion. So we need Breeding Pool. I guess maybe last game I could have just kept on bluffing blue mana and tried to do that, but I thought keeping up binding was more important than bluffing because I figured he would go for it at the end of turn anyway. Well, yeah, this is just creativity. So if we don't draw some counter magic, we're in trouble, but I do have Bolt in hand and he knows about the Bolt, which means he can't creativity for 1. But unfortunately with Fable, it now means that he can go Dwarven Mine next turn, so my 1 Bolt can't stop him. So I really need some counter magic here, or binding, or another Bolt, or Tribal Flames. Okay, land's not going to do it. So I'll put him at 8. I could play a Brawler. Like now I'm just kind of in trouble because like I can fetch a basic forest, play Brawler. I'm going to have to sacrifice a creature when he gets his creativity, so I just have to hope he doesn't have creativity. So what we're going to do is have to bolt the Shaman token before attacks. So things aren't looking amazing. Again, this I guess a situation where I could bluff blue mana, but I don't think he's going to go for it because he knows at least somewhat what's in my hand. So now at the beginning of combat, I have to bolt the Shaman, so he can't creativity for 2. But he'll still get a Dwarven Mine creativity for 1. So I would need like a binding or something off the top to play through it. Okay. Means he doesn't have creativity, so that's good for me. Okay. This is going to be annoying. I guess he has just double Bolt in hand. Okay. I think I still kill a Shaman token. I could obviously, like, just risk it. Like, if I top deck Tribal Flames, I could just kill him. But I don't know. It's kind of risky. Gonna do this so he can't make any treasure tokens. I just have to hope that he doesn't draw creativity. Fortunately, I'm out of gas, so another Thoughtseize. Love to see it. My hand's very strong. Honestly, if I top deck a Tribal Flames, I could put him at 1 and he can't fetch anymore, which would actually be pretty strong. Means he can't get a Dwarven Mine. Okay, Scion's good too, though. He knows what's in my hand, so I can't really bluff anything. So let's just hope that we dodge creativity for another turn. If he's just passing the turn, this is very good for me. Like I'm wrong now. Okay, this is very good for me. So we will crack this to thin. We want another red, probably another red and another white. Do Sacred Foundry. Could do double red and white or double blue. I think this is red and white's fine. No. So we have a couple looks here because I can cycle a Triumph. WD is very good. Love to see it. So we're just going to attack him down to 2. Could play a land here. I could get Gigantha. I kind of probably just want to cycle this Triumph though. I could cycle it now, and I'm trying to think of what I could potentially get that I could cast. Binding or something. A creature, 1-drop. Maybe I just cycle it now. He's not playing ice or anything, so I'm not worried about that. See if I can get like a 1-drop here. Or, yeah. Not exactly what I wanted. I actually tapped poorly there because I should have kept up red. Because this, I've already grabbed Sacred Foundry, which means this couldn't have grabbed red mana. So like if I had flipped a Bolt or Tribal Flames, I can't cast it this turn. So that was actually a misplay. Yeah, we're 1-3 after the amazing performance against Rhinos. See if we can get to 2-3. Okay, cool. He just gave up. So I guess with like this version of creativity that's doing a lot of discard stuff, I could bring in Veil. I want to bring in Flusterstorms. I'll probably bring in Veil. I'm going to trim on a Brawler. I'm going to trim on Ragavan on the draw against a Ren and 6 deck. Bolt is good. Kavu is good. I feel like Devil's pretty good too, but we can trim on one of them. It's kind of a flex slot. I like Nikotl. I could trim on 1 Tribal Flames. Sure. I haven't played against this version that much. You can argue about bringing in Rest in Peace if he's trying to do a lot of reanimate stuff, which he might be, but I also, the problem is it's just like too narrow. I'd rather just bring in the counter magic that can stop the reanimate spells or creativity. Fortunately, on the draw, Veil Summer's not as good, so this hand's good. So he'll probably take like Stubby D or something, but I can keep 7 against a discard deck, which is good for me. I'm guessing this is Thoughtseize, so he'll probably take Stubby D. Oh, he just has nothing. Okay. So I'm expecting a turn 2 Ren and 6. And also with having blue-red, we're just going to go green-white here. So we'll get a 2/2 Nikotl. Won't die to Ren and 6. In terms of Devil, Devil's like our worst 1-drop, so I wouldn't want to play Devil on this turn, on turn 1. I'd rather play Devil on turn 3 in this scenario. So we'll just play our Nikotl. Turn 2, we can go Brawler. Turn 3, we can go, potentially Stubby D holding up. Or sorry, Devil holding up Stubby D and Bolt if I have to. We'll see. See what my opponent decides to do here. Go through this turn, though. Now he Thoughtseizes. So he must have just top decked it, or he was just worried about his land. I'm just imagining he's taking this. He must have just been worried about his life total, I guess. To save 2 life. Nah, I think he just top decked it. Unless he's really trying to slow me down, maybe he'll take Brawler. But that seems unlikely. Nah, yeah, of course he didn't take the counter magic. But now he didn't really get anywhere that turn. So now I can start applying pressure, still play my threats out, and he still can't combo off till turn 4. Oh, and I top decked another. Alright, so we'll play our Steam Vents. We're going to stick to our original plan. Swing in for 3 and then play Brawler. I don't think I need this Flusterstorm this turn. Because he didn't discard anything yet in the graveyard, so I don't have to worry about that, and I don't have to worry about creativity until turn 4. So we're safe to play Brawler. Probably just die to Bolt, but that's fine. Now we just wait. Hopefully he doesn't have another discard spell. So now we're applying some decent pressure. Unfortunately, I can't actually get 5 types. This is going to be Fable. Okay. Another Nacatl is good. So unfortunately, I can't get 5 types here with so I need to keep the blue untapped because of for Flusterstorm, the blue/red. So I think what we do here is like the Flooded Strand. Like I'd love to be able to deal 8 to him instead of 7, but maybe he'll chump one of these. Save me some removal spell. I think we're just gonna swing in here. So my only untapped black source is Overgrown Tomb, which is why I was saying I can't actually get 5 types here. I don't think there's any way he lets this go. So what we can do here, we'll play our Nacatl. We'll play our fetch land, and then we'll see what he does. So most likely I'm bolting this Goblin Shaman token at the beginning of combat so he doesn't get an extra treasure token. And then if I have to, I can fetch for Sacred Foundry here, and then... Sorry, I'll fetch for Sacred Foundry. I guess it depends if I want double red or not. I do want double red, I think, with what I have in hand. So I'll fetch Sacred Foundry, bolt the Goblin Shaman token, and then hold up Flusterstorm. And then I think there's like no way I can lose. But we'll see what he does. See if he gets an Archon in the graveyard. He didn't discard anything. Okay. Interesting. He's going to go to the begin combat. I am going to go Sacred Foundry, bolt the Lightning Bolt. This also up the storm count so that Flusterstorm is more expensive. You could argue I could let this Shaman token go, but no. I'm just going to like present lethal to him. They just not have anything. I imagine he goes creativity here. Okay, or he just loses. He must have Bolt in hand. And he's going to just try to bolt the Brawler. Okay, Breeding Pool doesn't really help me that much. Okay, so I guess I'll play the Devil first. It ups the storm count is the reason for that. Now when he tries to bolt Brawler, he can't pay the tax. That's assuming what it... I'm assuming that's what he's going to do, or else he's just dead. Yep, so... Pretty easy one there. Copy it 3 times, or 2 times, so it'll be 3 mana. Same targets. Unless he has a second bolt here, which maybe he does. I guess maybe that was a mistake if he has a second bolt. I should have thought that through, actually. That was the... Okay, he still doesn't have enough to pay it. I'd have to think about that. I think maybe I should just let that bolt go. Because I guess if he had double bolt, then I could have potentially lost there, right? Because he could have double bolted the Brawler. He's going to take 6 to go to 2. And then he goes creativity next turn. So maybe I should have played more conservatively. I'm not sure. I guess, I don't know. It's a close one. I think he just went for the win. But I could have seen myself losing that game if he had double bolt. And you could argue that I could have just let him do that and just save that Flusterstorm for creativity and kill him next turn. That's probably the better play, actually. So I lucked out there, but I think the better play would have been to do that. Okay, so 2-3 in this league, which is not a great result. the question is like how much of that was variance versus me not playing well versus the deck not being good. I think that's hard to say. I want to try to pull up the deck list again. I would say thinking back to the matchup, so I think the Prowess matchup I definitely could have played better. Usually I sideboard for against Prowess. Prowess is always a close matchup. It's one of the toughest matchups for Domain Zoo. But I don't know what my MTGO is doing right now. Freaking out. It's one of the toughest matchups for Domain Zoo. Okay, so I guess MTGO just crashed. But anyway, I'll just keep talking about it. It's one of the tougher matchups for Domain Zoo. So I bring in Rest in Peace. I didn't that game because I was like, I don't know if he's on DRC on the the package with Underworld Breach, but I think that's a mistake, and I think you definitely want to bring in Rest in Peace because of a few cards. DRC is the obvious one. You want to turn off Delirium, but also Lava Dart gets much worse without being able to flash it back from the graveyard, and of course Underworld Breach. So how that matchup usually goes is it's a very close matchup where I'm doing a lot of times I'm going to trade my big blockers for their creatures, so they might use like 2 cards or something to try to go over here. Yeah, they might use 2 cards to try to swing in, and I'm gonna block with one of my big creatures, even if I'm trading it, because I know that like it benefits me to not. He's gonna use off his cards, and I'm not gonna take that damage. So the games tend to go long. So in that case, the win condition for Prowess usually when games go long is Underworld Breach. And as you saw in that one of those matches, that's like how I lost was Underworld Breach. So I think that's why you need to have Rest in Peace. And I can understand the perspective where you'd be like, oh, you don't want to trade, 1-for-1 or 2-for-1, 1-for-2s or whatever against a deck that has expressive iteration. But I play that matchup a lot, and I think that is what you have to do. It's always going to be very close, but you need to slow them down with your big blockers and have them waste their cards on just like killing a blocker rather than actually doing damage to you, because that just slows them down, and then you have time to like build up your board, draw more removal, and do more damage to them. So that's what I think. I do think I didn't sideboard well against that match. So I think that's one thing. I definitely could have played that better, and that might have affected the result. I think against the blue-white control, that list was just, he saw the first match, I just didn't have enough gas. In the control matchup, you kind of just have to run your threats out and just hope you can get enough pressure on the board early to kill the opponent. And like that just didn't happen in game 1. And then game 2, he had like, pretty much all his sideboard answers. So 2 temporary lockdowns plus like the life gain card. And I just couldn't draw any answers to those. So that was kind of how that matchup went. We just got blown out there. And then against Rhinos, the first game was very close. And then the second game I had a mold of 4, and my opponent had Gemstone Cavern. So I still try to play through it, and maybe I can look back and maybe I could have played better by holding Kavu back and trading with some Rhinos to try to buy me some time. But I didn't think that was a great strategy, just given that I knew there were more Rhinos coming down in future turns. So I just had to pressure his life total and then hope to like that he like bricks for a turn or something. And it almost worked. He just happened to have force, so didn't work out. Yeah, so those were the losses. So I in terms of what I think the overall deck, I still think that I do like Vexing Devil actually a lot still in those flex slots. I don't know if the flex slot is solved, but I think it's definitely warrants more testing. That there hasn't been a game really where I've been like, man, this Vexing Devil in my hand is just like dead. Like at worst, it's a 1 mana 4 damage burn spell, and then sometimes it's a 1 mana 4, put a 4/3 in play. Now you turn on Stubby D. Now it has first strike because of Scion. Like there's a lot of stuff that's relevant with it. So I've been in the early game or the late game. There's never been a time where I've seen the card and been like, oh no, it's just a Vexing Devil. Like this thing sucks. Like it impacts the board pretty quickly. So that's my overall impression of using the Vexing Devil in the flex slots. I do like it because it helps to smooth out your hands, your curves. So you can end up playing a big 2-drop on turn 3 and Vexing Devil, whereas before you might just have 2 2-drops and it might be like clunky. So I think that's an advantage. But Hopefully you guys enjoy this type of content. I know the result wasn't great, but I still try to post the video so you can see how the deck operates. You can see, mistakes I make because I'm also trying to improve as a player, and maybe you can learn something for how to improve as well. So if you like this sort of content, go ahead, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.